A very few of you may know that the web app, which is named as the Stocky, is now being closing on August 2026 by Shopify, which was a web application providing the overall look of the Shopify website or e-commerce website of a person to look at the inventory and stock outs. So for that we are creating a new one to replace it, but there are already competitors in the market, so we have to be decisive by every decision. So we are building this a new one which is named as Reordrify. So let's take a look how the decisions are going to be taken and how the thought process behind building this MVP. And We are a team of two people, so right now let's start working on this thing. It is really great thing that with AI we can create the MVP in more less time, so it will be fun. Let's see.
I started this process a little differently than usual. Instead of jumping straight into designing screens, I focused on building concept. I took a design book that talk about UX and human behavior, shared with fresh GPT session to make the conversation more informed. The idea was simple: if the system understands how people think, it can generate better design directions. From there, it started giving structured learning points, and I made sure to reinforce those into memory so the future responses stay aligned with good UX principles. This step was important because I didn't want random outputs. Once that foundation was set, I introduced the actual problem space. I explained what I am trying to build, which is Reordrify, and what kind of experience I want users to have. Along with that, I defined the tone, intent, and even the color direction so that the outputs don't feel disconnected from the product vision. Based on this, it generated around 5 different ideations. Each of them had a slightly different approach in terms of layout, hierarchy, and interaction patterns. I went through each one carefully, a usability standpoint, and selected the first and fourth directions because they felt more aligned with clarity and structure. After narrowing it down, I asked it to generate a final dashboard level prompt that I could use with Claude Code. This is where the shift happens. I moved into Visual Studio Code and started working with Claude Code directly. Instead of using heavier agent based models of Claude Code, I have a Minimax M2.7 because it's more cost efficient while still being capable. I kept feeding it prompts, refining outputs, restructuring components, and improving layout decisions. It wasn't a one shot process at all. It took multiple iterations and small corrections to make something usable. The initial results were actually decent, not bad at all, but like the refinement and depth, so I started improving it further, especially from a UX perspective. At every point, I chose to make UX decisions first. One major change then was the color theme. The earlier version leaned more towards a natural, slightly dull tone, which didn't support a modern product feel. So I shifted towards a lighter, higher contrast palette to improve readability, hierarchy, and overall perception. So it's not now connected with nature more, but more towards modernity, and it helped to build a fresh look overall. Along with that, I also had to change the product name due to similarity issues, which led to a more refined identity. As the iterations continued, I started focusing more deeply on how the product feels. UX plays a critical role in how a product is perceived, and I try to ensure that the interface communicates clarity, reduces friction, and feels intuitive at every step. So This is where a lot of micro decisions come into play: spacing, hierarchy, interaction flow, and how the animation small interactions will take place. I also experiment with tools like Stitch by Google to explore alternative design directions, although those outputs still required significant refinement to match the product intent. After closely inspecting every section of the current build, I started making more targeted improvements instead of changing everything at once. I broke it down into sections and generated prompts specifically for each part. This made the process more controlled and effective, and chances of error less. Over the course of 2 days, I kept refining, adjusting, and improving the interface. It reinforced one important thing: this is not a one step process. Even with AI, building a good product still requires continuous thinking, iteration, and decision making. What I really liked in this process is how, as a designer, I was able to take control of the front end experience completely. It's not just about designing in Figma anymore. You can actually bring your ideas to life and see them working live. The current version we have is something I am satisfied with for now. It's not final, and it will definitely evolve over time, but it's a solid step forward. That's where the product stands right now. I would really like to know what you think about it, and we will continue building and refining from here in the next one. Thank you for watching. If you find this helpful, please like and subscribe. Bye.